record with it's telling you it's being recorded. Great. Okay, so I'm so super excited for tonight. We have just an incredible leader, network marketer, Isogenics total boss when it comes to building this business, honestly, sharing with us. This woman builds with just massive heart, massive consistency, discipline. Her product group is on fire constantly through everything. She has 2 personal executives plus many more in her org because she does such a good job of digging down and finding people and helping them run and dream big and vision. She achieved more than the 20 leader in action points last month, so she got her cooler for the summer. She was thrilled about that. Filling out all 4 categories, right? So doing all the steps. And she also was Heart of Isogenics a couple years ago, if you remember. So just embodies the culture so well. She's a big fan of growing with community and in-person events. I'm sure she'll talk about that tonight. But I'm just excited for you guys to learn from Miss Barbie Erickson. Go ahead, Barbie.
Yes, thank you, Allison. Can everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up, head nods, good? Okay. Let me just pray right now that my dogs are not gonna go crazy again like they did earlier on my other power hour. So I sent my kids and my husband, oh, I love it, Tia. I sent my kids and my husband gone, but I cannot promise that neighbor kids won't stop over and therefore my dogs will go crazy. So let's just put out some good vibes that won't happen. So anyway, thank you so much. I am so excited to be here, you guys. These calls are everything. So I just want to thank you so much for carving the time out of your Monday evening. You guys, these are exactly what I tell my team all the time is this is what fuses us together. People are meant for community. People are meant for connection. And through this hard time where we haven't had Super Saturdays, the 4 core events, or even just like little sip and samples to come together, these calls are huge. So I just want to applaud you all for carving the time out. I know some people have smaller calls or more one-on-one or small group calls too, but really these calls are put together for you guys to learn from all of these other leaders. So I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out. Hopefully you will find some value here. What I tell my team all the time is take what you want and leave what you don't. So there may be things that I say that totally resonate with you, or there may be things that I say that are like, nah, that's not so much me. But I encourage you to take what you want, leave what you don't. But when you think about leaving what you don't, I would question you as if is it just a little bit out of your comfort zone, or is it something that is out of alignment with you? So comfort zone, push yourself out of your comfort zone. I may be throwing things at you that you're like, I don't know if I can do that, but I promise you, you can. So I just want to say, Jamie did an amazing job last week about mindset and belief. You guys, if you didn't catch that call, go watch the recording. It was so good because it is seriously the foundation. You have to be in the right mindset. You have to have the belief and the conviction when you are connecting with people, or else they'll see right through it. So really it is a huge foundation, but it's only one piece of it. And that's the personal development piece of it. And you can't get stuck there. I see so many people getting stuck in doing mindset work or building their belief, and they honestly just get stuck there, that they don't get into action. They actually don't put what they're learning into action. And that is the piece that I'm here to talk to you guys today about. It's the whole marketing piece. It's marketing. We are in network marketing. How are you marketing to your network? And fortunately, I have had 10 plus years in corporate America in marketing. I've worked for some of the best brands ever. And I will tell you, they focus so much on marketing. They focus on attraction marketing, right? Luring people in, bringing people in. Think of Target, think of their weekly ad, right? So they bring attraction marketing, but then they're also direct marketing. They're coming into your inbox. They're sending you push notifications, right? So there's attraction marketing and then there's direct marketing. And it's the same thing with Isogenics. And so from attraction marketing, right? Think about So many people think about social media, right? Social media is a huge one, but you in person, out in the real world, that is also attraction marketing. And I don't know, like throw in the chat how long you have been with Isogenics. I would just love to know how long everybody's been with Isogenics, because for those of you who have been around for, I don't know, 5+ years, yes, Allison, 7.5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 3 weeks. Oh, 3 weeks. Awesome. 14 months, 9.5, Christine. Yes. So, okay. So for those of you who have been around longer than 5 years, right? We know that the social media game has changed drastically. We used to be able to put posts up there 5 years ago and say, hey, like I'm that mama who quit Diet Coke when I have 3 kids under 3. Like no more like synthetic caffeine, right? And I would have people messaging me like, oh my goodness, what are you doing, right? We can't do that anymore. The attraction marketing game is so different on social media because so many people are doing side gigs. So many people are utilizing that platform. So attraction marketing on social media is very, very different now. The thing that you need to do, from whether it's attraction marketing, social media, or in person, is you need to share your story. You need to share who you are. You need to share your life. People want to know you. They don't want to know everything about you, but they want to know who you are. They want that vulnerability. They want that transparency. Although it's sometimes hard to do on social media, go take a look at my Facebook page. I lay my heart out there. And that's honestly why I feel like people know me, they like me, and they trust me, because what the business that we're in, dealing with, consulting people, giving people solutions for weight loss, energy, to find convenience. Those are some really vulnerable conversations that we need to have with people. And in order for people to open up to you, you also need to do the same, right? So from a social media perspective, as well as in person, from that attraction marketing, share your story. Share your Isogenic story, share your business story, share who you are, right? So that's how we bring people in, through attraction marketing. Think of social media as your online storefront, right? That's how you broaden your reach. But attraction marketing is also in person. You got to smile. You have to smile at people. You have to be friendly, right? I mean, trust me, I'm not friendly all of the time, but you have to be friendly. You also have to be really inquisitive. You have to ask people questions, right? In order to get to know other people, you have to want to know their story. And again, people will only go as deep as you go. So if you keep all of your surface level conversations with everybody that you meet, that's all you'll ever have. So you need to go deep, open up, and share your story with people in person as well as online, for people to know you and like you and trust you. So attraction marketing is only half of it. And I'm not going to spend any more time on that, because the main thing that we need to be doing is the most important thing, and that is direct marketing. Direct marketing is going to be the huge differentiator between you and everybody else. And I'm talking about direct marketing is like sending people voice messages, right? Sending people voice messages, telling them how much you think that they would love what you do, how much you think they would love this new collagen, how the results that you've been seeing, longer hair, nicer nails, more even skin tone. And honestly, girl, this is in your wheelhouse. You would love this. So people need to hear that from you. You just posting on social media and praying that they're going to drop a comment and be like, girl, give me some info. That doesn't happen anymore. You need to invite people. How are people going to know that you want them to join you unless you ask them? So I have a question for those of you who were reached out to. Put a one in the chat. Said, did your enrolling sponsor reach out to you? And put a 2 in there if you reached out to them, right? If they reached out to you, 1. Okay. You guys, those are a lot of ones. That's awesome. Are you doing the same thing? Are you doing the same thing? I know mine's a one. Allison reached out to me. She was very intentional about reaching out to me, connecting with me, asking me to take a look, adding me to a group, right? We need to be doing that same thing, because I don't know about you guys, but I was not the type of girl who would be inspired by somebody posting on social media and I would not message them and say, hey, what are you doing? That's not who I was. I wasn't going to be that girl, right? Because I pretended that I had everything all figured out, right? But so you have to reach out, because not everybody is going to be comfortable reaching out to you on one of your posts or on commenting on one of your stories. So we need to be sending messages. And this has been a huge shift for me, huge shift for me. For the longest time, I never reached out to people. You guys, I probably built the first 3-4 years, which is super embarrassing even to say. I built the first 3 to 4 years without ever sending a message to anyone. It was all built on people coming to me or through referrals. And a flip switched in my head when I actually got like this little burning desire of like, okay, I'm going to reach out to people. I reached out to people and they were like, oh yeah, I use Isagenix because my neighbor girl, or I actually knew that you used it, but I knew somebody else. And so I joined them. And a big aha moment was like, if I'm not reaching out to people, somebody else is. And I guarantee you, if you're thinking about them, somebody else is thinking about them too. And it's not that there's anything wrong with you. They just might not be that type of person that is going to ping you, right? Because maybe you knew them from high school, or maybe you knew them from college, or maybe you just randomly, casually know them from church or whatever it may be, right? So maybe they're not comfortable enough to reach out to you. So that was my big aha moment of like, there are people saying yes to Isagenix. And the only reason they're not saying yes to me is because I'm not asking. Who else is guilty of that? Who else is guilty of that, of just not asking, right? Thinking that they can do this all attraction marketing, right? That they don't ever have to reach out, because I had this ewy thought in my head about, I didn't want to be that spammy network marketer. But I will tell you, it's a choice. You don't have to be that spammy network marketer. We are not that, I mean, that is not this team. That is not even this company, you guys. We can honestly be different. And that's where I say direct marketing will be the biggest differentiator. And I send all of my direct messages through voice message. I send every single person voice messages. My biggest thing that I've been doing lately is I will reach out to them and say, hey, I know this might be coming out of the blue. And I'm holding my phone like this because you guys see that this is what I do nonstop. I hold the microphone on my Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, or even text messages. I will send people and I said, hey, I know this may be coming out of the blue for you, but it's actually not for me. Your name has been coming to my head and my heart, and I feel super compelled to just reach out to you. I have no idea if this is going to be something that you're interested in or not, but honestly, I think you would love it. I started using this collagen elixir a couple months ago, and I'm not even kidding. I'm borderline obsessed with it. My hair is longer, my skin is more even, and I'm finally getting rid of those dark circles under my eyes. I think this is totally in your wheelhouse. If you're interested in checking it out, would love to send you more info. If not, no worries. But I honestly think you'd love this. That is what I say. It doesn't have to be scripted or anything like that, but I've been sending so many of those messages specifically for collagen a lot lately, because again, I've been doing Isagenix for almost 7 years. But one of the things I'm also doing is reaching out intentionally to people that I want to do this business with. And that is something that I shied away from for a really long time. I never reached out to people for the business. I always brought people in with the products and thought like they'd be intrigued about the business opportunity. But I realized that there are so many people right now who need this opportunity. And there are so many people out there that are super business savvy that like have multiple streams of income. So why wouldn't they say yes to this? Why wouldn't they? I mean, like, honestly, has Isagenix blessed any of you? Drop a number in the chat, whatever that number is. Drop a number in the chat if Isagenix has blessed you financially in this past year. Oh my goodness, has it ever for me? And so there are people that need this. So there are people that I have reached out to and I'm like, I think you would absolutely love what I would do, what I do. Would you be open to chatting? And that is what I did to my most recent consultant. I'm like, I think you'd absolutely love this. I know you and your husband are super business savvy and always looking for additional opportunities. Would you be open to chatting more? And she's like, for sure. And she even said, I'm super flattered that you thought of me. You guys, that is like an amazing response. People are flattered when we think of them. We need to flip that script in our head that it's an ewy spammy message that we're sending. We're not sending ewy spammy messages if we send them with love, if we send them from our heart, if we are actually wanting to serve them, if we actually think that collagen is in their wheelhouse. Don't say things that aren't true, right? And I'm not going to send a message to someone that I want to link arms and partner with them if they've, shown me that they can't hold down a job, right? Or if they've been super inconsistent. But I do send messages to people that are on my dream team. And I think we need to change that in our heads, that sending messages to people is ewy. And I don't know if maybe you guys haven't had that, but I know I have, and I know so many people on my team for sure that have shied away from direct marketing because maybe they've had a bad experience with it, right? Maybe they've been a recipient of the hey girl messages, but don't be that person, right? And I always encourage people to use voice messages because you can tell it's personalized. They can hear the excitement in your voice. And maybe if you're not excited, maybe that's a sign, right? Maybe then you need to go back and do some work on your mindset and belief in order to get super excited, right? In order to have that enthusiasm, that excitement, that energy when you are reaching out to people. I am very conscious of what I am doing when I'm sending messages out to people. I don't send them when I'm stressed, when I'm crabby, anything like that. I send them when I'm excited. But I think direct marketing is the big thing that is often an oversight in our team. I think there's so much focus on what we can do from social media perspective, never having a blank story, right? And do all of this attraction marketing, but I promise you the power is in direct marketing. And I think that's where I've seen my biggest success ever since January, ever since the launch of collagen, is me going out telling people how much I love it. So direct marketing, making sure that we're making that in a mix. It's a mix of attraction and direct marketing. You have to do both, or else seriously, posting and praying, it just doesn't work anymore. That is building your business on sand. If you are trying to just do attraction marketing, you need to do both. You definitely need to have that online store presence from their social media perspective, but you also need to be reaching out to people, telling them why you want them to do this with you. Okay, so I would just love to hear from you guys. How many people are sending voice messages currently? Yes, I love that. Are you finding it fun? Are you finding it exciting? Are you getting a better response from voice messages? Yes, they're so good. I know there are plenty of scripts out there, but I encourage you that you don't necessarily need a script. You can tell them, hey, I keep thinking of you because, right? This is what I'm experiencing. Would you be open to taking a look? It doesn't need to be super complicated as long as it's coming from the heart, because that's where people feel like it's the most genuine, heartfelt message. And then it's honestly like plugging them in, right? It's adding them to your product group. It's following up. And all of my direct messaging that I've sent to people, the fortune is in the follow-up. So many people think like, oh, I sent the message, right? And they think like, check, I sent the message, but they don't follow up with them. And I will tell you that everybody's busy, especially right now. Everybody's packing so much into summer that the fortune is in the follow-up. You need to follow up with them and say, hey, I know you were interested in checking this out. Just wanted to follow up. We have free shipping this week, or just wanted to check, make sure there wasn't anything that you were waiting for me in order to make your purchase. So much of this is in the follow-up, and I think that's also another huge gap that we often miss on. So I encourage you all, whether you feel like you're really doing well with that attraction marketing, or maybe you feel like you're killing it in direct and maybe you got to work a little bit more on your attraction marketing, I encourage you both to figure out how to do them both. And you don't have to be like an absolute rocket science at both of them. We sometimes gravitate more towards one or the other. I definitely know I've been guilty of doing way more attraction marketing. And then sometimes I let my social media slip, right? And I don't post anything for a while. But I definitely feel like it's figuring out the balance between attraction marketing and direct marketing. So I'm going to give you a task for this week. Okay. Your commitment to yourself this week is to send out at least 5. And I'm giving you 5. If you've been in here longer, like, I don't know, Christine, if you've been in here longer than that, maybe you do more, right? Lori, maybe you do more. Gretchen, you do more. You know, whoever, I'm blanking on who was here for 14 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Let's scroll up. LB Brown, okay, 3 weeks, maybe you do 2, maybe you do 1, whatever your pace, right? Set your pace and set your number, but I encourage you to send out whatever number is right for you, messages, voice messages, and maybe it's 3 a day, right? Again, you set your number, but intentionally reaching out to people. And if you don't know who to reach out to and send that message to, the biggest clue is look back and see who's watching your stories. That's how I fill my funnel every single week. That's who goes to the top of my list every single week. So when I reach out to them about collagen, they saw my collagen story earlier today, right? So if you don't know who to reach out to, check and see who's engaging with your social media, right? Let your attraction marketing fill your direct funnel. So send whatever your number is of voice messages this week. And I also encourage you never to let your story on Instagram or Facebook go blank. That is what my main focus has been on. Never let it go blank. Gretchen, you kill at this. I love it. You do so well at this. I'm like, girl, that she has something in her story like all day long, every day. Amanda is really good at this. I know Jamie Taylor is really good at this. So follow those people too and figure out what their flow is, how they're like what they're putting in their stories to make sure it never goes blank. Because if your story never goes blank, that means your funnel never goes dark. So if you always have something in your story, you always have people to fill in your direct marketing with, right? And your last one is meet one new person every single day. If you meet one new person every single day, that's 365 people a year. Like, that's crazy. And even if it's not in person, find a new friend on social media. I mean, Facebook does it for you. Friend suggestions. I mean, like I've added people as friends and I'm like, I don't even know how I know this person, but I like on their stuff every single time. And I'll go through, I'm like, how do I know this person? Did we ever meet in person? But I don't care. I am always focusing on expanding my network, right? So those are your 3 things. Voice messages, never let your stories go dark to make sure you're always filling your direct funnel. And then the third one is to meet one new person every single day, whether that's in person or social media. Those are your 3 things to do this week before we meet next week. So again, Jamie did an amazing, amazing training on mindset and belief. Check that out. Again, that's the foundation, but you need to take all of that personal development, that mindset, that belief, and put it into action. And that's through attraction and direct marketing. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope it was valuable, and make sure you do your 3 things this week, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.